Local organizations are coming together in the name of goodwill and community service to honor the legacy of Martin Luther King Jr. And I'm joined now by Faustenia, Reverend Paul Thomas, and Councilwoman Zanetta Everhart with ways that you can get involved and give back. Welcome, everyone. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Of course. Faustenia, I'm going to start with you. Okay. Tell us more about this MLK Jr. Day of Service and what inspired you to start this locally.
So 6 years ago, when the insurrection happened, I was going to be in D.C., but there were no activities happening. So that meant I'd be in Buffalo, and I was like, I got to volunteer on MLK Day of Service. When I went to the site, there was nothing happening on the east side. So I said, you know what? Let's gather together at least 10 volunteers and see what happens. 20 people showed up, and the rest is history.
Wow. Okay. So, Zanetta, tell us more about why it's so important to hold this on Buffalo's east side.
I mean, well, it's MLK Day, right? And so most people think of it as a day off, right? But as we always say, MLK Day should be a day on, right? And we should stand for what he stood for, right? Which was service to community and to our residents and to businesses and to organizations, and stand together and do something together for each other. And that's really what it's about. And we know historically, Black and brown communities, that's what we live on, service. Serving our community, serving each other, making sure that we are doing good for our neighborhoods and making neighborhoods better. And that's what we're doing on this MLK Day of Service.
And Reverend Paul, tell us how your church is getting involved and why this is important to you.
Yes, Bethel is Western New York's oldest congregation of African descent, and we are serving as hosts for this year's MLK Day of Service to add importance to the persons who are volunteering, which aren't just from the east side, but all over the community. And so we want to have a rally where we all come together at Bethel before we go to our various sites, and Bethel will host in that rally so that we can meet each other, engage with each other. So it's not just about service, but also building community.
Absolutely. Let's talk about the different volunteer activities that people will be able to participate in.
Well, the focus is clean and green because my company focuses on the environment and getting, people involved. And it's so exciting because people are doing decluttering, they're painting. Matter of fact, in years past, we painted at Pastor Paul's church, and he said, I just want one classroom painted. We sent 25 people, and they painted the entire wing.
Wow.
So Pastor Paul let us come back.
Oh, yes. Come back
Anytime. And so what we find is MLK Day of Service volunteers, they want to do anything they can to help. We tell them 2 hours. At Pastor Paul's church, it was 4.
We have food. We
fed them.
You will be fed.
Yep. So I think it's an opportunity for people to really give back and do something.
And do you feel, especially when young people come out, and maybe they were brought there with their parents, but maybe they leave there being a little bit more inspired and proud of the work that they did that day?
Yeah, that's funny you mention that because my nephew was 7 years old when he came. The next year, we're driving through the corridor, and he's like, Auntie, are we going to do that cleanup thing again? I'm like, you want to clean up in the community, but you don't want to clean your room? And he was like, yes, because I had fun and we gave back to the community. And so we're really teaching our young people to be stewards and to connect.
Yeah, I love this. Okay, let's talk about the local organizations that are involved to really help put the, planning for today, the day together.
Yeah, so I told you we started with 20. Now we're up to 350 volunteers.
Wow.
And they come from all over Western New York. Like Rich Products, New Era, City Year, different civic groups. People just want to help in any way that they can. And they are bringing together, their friends so that they can help out. So that's how we've grown, because different groups want to be a part.
I love it. Okay. So do people have to register in advance, or can they just show up the day of?
So, of course, we love for them to register in advance by going to MLK Day of Service Buffalo. Google that, and then our website will pull up, because we have 31 sites that they can choose from. But if they can't register online, they can show up, and we will put them to work.
We'll find some work for you.
Pastor Paul will make sure of that.
And talk about the significance of your church, Pastor Paul. I did a story with you when I first came to Buffalo and really learned a lot about the history of your pastor.
Yes, we were actually both new. I moved here in June of 2021, but Bethel AME Church is the oldest congregation, as I said, but it serves so much significance in the community. Our location on Vine Street served as a part of the Underground Railroad. Our congregation has played a significant role in equality as far as education is concerned and as far as social concerns are concerned. We've hosted Frederick Douglass and the like at Bethel throughout the years. And so our congregation placed a stake in not only the East Side, but communities working together, because that's the center of our faith as Christians.
Yeah. And Danetta, as a councilwoman, being able to represent different communities around Western New York, what does it mean to be a part of this event and see the community step up?
You know what? It really is, like Faustini was talking about, our young people, right? Getting them involved. And yes, they have the day off from school, but look at this amazing project that they get to participate in, right? But not only do they get to participate in a project, they get to learn some history along the way, right? A lot of times we don't learn a lot about African American history in schools. And so it's really important that not only are our young people getting involved and they're coming out and they're lending a hand to organizations and businesses, but they're also learning about the history and what that means to our community and giants, right? Like MLK and what he meant to this country and how they can play a part and how they can build their own legacies moving forward. And anyone, young or old, no matter how old you are, right, you have an opportunity to build a legacy. And we have people like MLK to look at, for example.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming in. It should be another great year of service. Viewers, if you'd like to learn more about the ways that you can participate in MLK Jr. Day of Service, just visit eastsidestewards.com/MLK Day, or you can connect with them on Facebook and Instagram. Thanks again for coming in.
Thank you for having us.